Welcome to Behind Cleveland, a community-powered digital media platform dedicated to uncovering the heart and soul of Cleveland. Real stories from real people, amplifying voices, places, and spaces. And step outside the city limits with Beyond Cleveland, bringing you stories from around the nation. Tune in to discover and explore as we take you behind. This is the story of one Cleveland barber who's been making an impact on his community in a unique and compassionate way. It is the story of one man's journey of overcoming life's challenges, turning it into one of hope and inspiration. When we first heard of Damon Turk from the Men's Lab in Westlake, Ohio, and how he and his team deliver smiles and hope to community members one haircut at a time, we were intrigued. Driven by his childhood passion and his love for community, we set out to discover more about the people at the Men's Lab and what makes it so special.
What's on the agenda for today? Work. So I got started during COVID. I was a special ed teacher, and COVID hit, and the program that I was running shut down, as everything else did during that time. So decided to venture into barbering, and after school I had this opportunity to open up this shop. A good friend of mine owns the building, and this space became available, and I was asked if I had any interest in opening up a barber shop, and I did not at the time, but thinking about it with the family and my friends and wife, we just kind of went with it. So it took about 1.5 years to open up the shop, with all the renovations, working with the city, then finding these two amazing barbers that I have working for me, DeLorean and Luis. We kind of built a family here, and it's been a journey, but it's been well worth it, and I look forward to many years working together and possibly another shop in the future.
Growing up, Turk recalls many obstacles which he had to overcome, from being bullied at school, as well as at home from family members who pressured him not to cut hair for a living, and a few moments which he had to deal with some traumatic experiences. He recalls life handing him a curveball before finding his footing, where he began to shape his own path, one rooted in empathy, community, and family.
Family and friends. I ain't gonna cry. I told myself I wasn't gonna cry today. No. All right. Shit. Okay. Yeah. So I just had friends back in the day that weren't very shit. I don't know how to do this. Hold on. Yeah. It hurt. You have people that love you. To kind of tell you, don't do this, don't do that, but this is what you really want to do. And at an early age, you're gonna listen. You're not gonna do like what you really want at that age. You're gonna listen to your family and friends, and and do something different, do something what they want you to do. And looking back at now, like, yeah, no, screw that. I'm gonna do what I love and feel good about, and that's working with all types of people, and whether it's people with disabilities, different backgrounds, having those conversations, get to know everybody, let them know about me. I love telling people about my stories. I feel like I could write a book, and people might want to read it. Yeah, that's all I got.
In a moment of reflection, Turk shared a profoundly moving part of his journey about the day he became a father, a dream he once thought might remain beyond his reach.
Yeah. Miss Holly said a bad word? Ooh, let's get that on camera. Sabrina. Hellos.
Oh. And he said that. Super.
So what are some of the most memorable moments that you were at your happiest, and you really experienced a lot of joy?
Professionally, probably opened up the barbershop. Took a little longer than expected, but most recent in the last few years, having 2 kids. I've always worked with kids, so man, having kids wasn't really in the picture, but the best thing ever.
Do you think the reason or how you gravitated toward helping community, especially working with kids, was due to maybe some of the trauma in your life as a child?
Yeah, for sure, possibly. Yeah, again, people leaving. The not knowing different things, day by day. Sure.
After a brief but heartfelt visit from Turk's wife and kids, we got back to business, diving into his biggest challenge, running a barbershop.
It is. So
I think the hardest thing is keeping barbers.
yeah, so my first employee here was someone that was right out of barber school. Did not come with any clients, which that right there is kind of hard to, in my opinion, my experience, to work at any shop anywhere and not come with clients, because you have to, fresh out of school, you have to be motivated. You have to be a motivated person to go out there to get clients. They're not just going to come here. You have to market yourself. If you don't market yourself, you're going to sit here for hours and hours, and you're going to get discouraged.
Especially going to a shop that doesn't have a lot of walk-ins.
Yeah, and that's with a lot of shops. Like they want you to come with some kind of clientele. But yeah, I think you have the motivation. The motivation has to be there. But if it's not there, you're not gonna be motivated all day long, whatever.
No,
but
for sure.
But
fresh out of school, you want to get out there and you want to get as many clients.
Yeah. And that's where I think a lot of people start at like Great Clips and all like the big names or whatever, because those are easy walk-ins.
And you get that experience because you like constantly, but you're like a robot at that point.
And barber school doesn't make you.
Turk's story setting the stage, we turned our attention to DeLorean and Lewis, 2 barber stylists with their own unique stories and energies, ready to learn more about the others who make this space feel like a home away from home.
My name is DeLorean. I'm a barber, been a barber for the last few years. I started in Indianapolis, originally from Cleveland, moved to Cleveland 2020, went to All-State Barber School to finish it up. Been cutting hair in 2 different shops. This is my last one. It's been in Westlake. Love it. Enjoy the moment of cutting hair and changing, transforming people from looking like nothing to something. So that's kind of like my gift right there. So it's enjoyable.
So I do have a rough story. I don't know how deep I can get into it, but I actually got shot in a drive-by as I was going to barber school. So I feel like that was one of my darkest moments as I was going through the process.
Would you say that saved you or changed your trajectory and put you on a better path?
For me, it changed me and it put me in a better path for the simple fact that it made me push myself harder. It wasn't so easy for me to wake up every day and be like, all right, I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm I'm gonna keep working as hard as I want to towards this, because the dark days were me getting up and realizing what I went through that day. So for me, barbering became that therapy, you know, getting away from the dark moments, and, you know, being able to enjoy myself, talk to clients and have fun, joke around, and just get away from the negativity and how would I say, the sadness.
A regular at the men's lab who knows the vibe well, we asked his take on what it really feels like walking in for a cut.
Pretty much.
How often do you come?
Like once every 2 or 3 months.
Yeah. Every 2 or 3 months?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like about this place the most?
I always get my trims right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
From this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you trust this guy?
Yeah.
You really do?
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
day. Good day.
After an afternoon at the men's lab, I left with more than just footage. I left with a little envy, envious of Turk and his crew, of their bond that they've built, and the vibe they've crafted. It's more than a barbershop. It really is a home away from home. And honestly, it made me want to build something just as cool.
Behind Cleveland.